What's up, everybody? This is Nate2764, and I'm back here. I have a movie review here, and so just in case nobody wants this to be ruined, there will be spoilers in this video for those who haven't seen the movie yet. The movie is, of course, Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li, and from going back to the original 1980s, I believe it was Street Fighter movies, I really wasn't expecting, anything terrific. But when I saw, names in the cast like Neil McDonough, Michael Clark Duncan of Green Mile fame, even Chris Klein from the American Pie movies, I saw some recognizable names. I figured, you know what, this will probably be better. So I went to go see it with a group of buddies of mine. And let me tell you, I just want to make it perfectly clear to everybody right now what a movie ticket's about. $7 these days. Save your money. If you don't want to, if you want to go just for a cheap laugh, then I would recommend this movie. But honestly, if you don't want to waste your money, don't do it. I would not recommend going to this at all, unless you're like a die-hard Street Fighter fan and you just want to see how they managed to destroy the series this time. To be honest, I'm not a huge, Street Fighter buff. I played the games before, a few of the games, and I've never really, been a huge fan. Never really got into it too much, but I know, enough about the games to, relate with the movies. A few things I just like to mention about this. First off, this might be one of the worst editing jobs I said ever since Ed Wood's Plan 9 from Outer Space. I think this movie is at least the second worst. If that's the first worst, then this is the second worst. I'm almost positive now. I've not heard anybody else mention this yet, but I swear that in a few scenes, Neil McDonough, who was my favorite role of his had to be in Angels in the Outfield, which is his first movie. Either way, he played the character Bison in this movie. He played the main villain. He has a beard in this movie. Now, in some scenes, I'm almost positive that his beard has been shaven, and in the next scene he'll have it fully grown and back, and then in the scene after that it'll be gone again, and by the end of the movie his beard will be back. I'm not sure if anybody else has noticed this or not, has seen the movie, but I swear that's what's going on, and if so, that is a horrible, horrible editing job. I was expecting Michael Clark Duncan to actually raise the bar in this movie. I'm not sure why. I've just, always enjoyed his, films. But honestly, he probably, every time he said a line, I think the theater usually, got a good laugh out of that. But the target of the most humor in this movie had to be Chris Klein's performance as Charlie Nash. Let me tell you, it might have been, oh wow, I'm not sure, I couldn't figure out, first of all, I couldn't figure out who the actor was. I knew he looked familiar. Once I realized, it was Oz or whatever from American Pie, I figured, oh well, that was one of the worst acting jobs I've ever seen right there in this movie. And I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be like I couldn't tell what he was doing. If it was supposed to be like a parody of like an action movie cop or something. I couldn't tell. I really couldn't. I thought it was a big joke when he first came on, but then you get them going on with this. Of course, this must be what's going on. This is their master plan. I know it all somehow. That very strange. It was a horrible, horrible acting job, and definitely laughable. I'm sorry to say that, it might be a little bit cruel, somebody might say, but it was downright dreadful. It was, horrible. I mean, I wouldn't consider myself a 5-star actor, but I probably could have topped that role even. And I'm of very limited experience when it comes to acting, so I give this movie a rating. Ooh, I would say 1 star. How does it compare with the original movies? Well, at least in those movies, the characters looked like the characters. And I understand they're trying to make this more of a modern setting, but still, I mean, there's just a few things. Of course, one thing I noted was that Chun-Li only had her original hairstyle, with the curls, everything. Only had that for one scene, which was just, what they consider, a trailer shot that you put in there just to gain hype. What was his name? The dude with the mask. I can't think of his name. Vega, I always forget his name. Vega was that big hype character who was on the poster, and everybody's like, "Oh, Vega's in this movie, great." Has one, like, maybe a minute and a half fight with Chun-Li, maybe not even that. Embarrassingly loses, and you don't see him for the rest of the movie. Almost as bad as Scarecrow in Batman Begins. And I understand they're probably going to bring him back for the third movie to play a major role in that, but I mean, it came as a surprise to me. It was almost like they ran out of story or something. I don't know. They're just like, oh well, we've already written them in here, but we want to move on with the film, so let's write it out really quick. It was not a very good movie at all. And I would not recommend it, and 1 star. That's all I have to say. 1 star.